To be honest, last time was not a good debut for Brock Purdy. After we gave up 4 first-round picks and a 4th-round pick, he gave us 6 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, less than 60% completion, and overall we need him and the rest of the team to step up. The rushing game still really hasn't quite been what we were looking for. Not that Jonathan Taylor is struggling. I mean, his average 4.9 a carry, 3 touchdowns, but less than 100 yards rushing a game. I would really prefer we hit that mark. One good thing is that Rashad Bateman and TJ Hawkinson, they're supposed to be our top 2 targets. They have both received 16 catches this year, which does lead the team. However, the yards, not as good for Hawkinson. Lazard and Cephas a little bit above him. No touchdowns yet for Hawkinson. In fact, the tight end Dan Arnold has been getting them over him. Offensive line has been a little bit hit or miss, more so on the outside. AJ Jackson is being benched to start today. As Trevor Penning, he's played a good little bit here. He's going to go back out to right tackle as Linderbaum is back. He was injured in that last game, last episode. He's healthy, so he'll be going back to center, which means Brown back to guard, and then Penning gonna start at right tackle because Jackson, 3 sacks, pretty much 1 per game. We're gonna try something else. We are also gonna be trying out another new playbook. This time, it's one we haven't used. We're going with Las Vegas. It's still the multiple power run scheme. Thinking back to heavy Josh Jacob usage, maybe we'll see a little bit more from Jonathan Taylor, get those 100 rushing, and then find some nice passes, maybe a little bit more focus on the tight end. We'll see if this ends up working out. And as we look to get ourselves to the trade deadline here through week 8, we have 2 non-conference games and then 2 conference games, including our second already against the Packers. That was a game that slipped away from us. We should have won. So we can get a little bit of revenge today. We're going to focus in on those divisional games because we did not do too well in our division last year. And we'll probably go through pretty quickly in the Colts and Titans. So with that being the case, we'll jump in here to the 4th quarter against the Colts. We are at home. It is 17-14, a 3rd and 4. Purdy throws, finds TJ Hawkinson. First down. Need to make sure we get him going very early and often. We'll bring out the fullback here as we go with a stretch. Taylor with a lead block. Beautiful blocking, and it is a touchdown rush. That is what you want from your fullback. Found the edge, sealed it, got downfield, got the second. And that extends our lead here in the 4th. Don't want to speak too early, but that is a great first play here to see with the new playbook. Now defense needs to seal this game up. Will Levis threw what was definitely a pick-offable ball. TJ Edwards just focused on breaking the pass up. The Colts are into plus territory here with a 2nd and 10, down by 10. As Levis will roll. He's got some space. He dumps it off. He finds Saquon. Bit a gain of 6. If I'm not mistaken, I feel like that's the same combo we had in our version of this series where we were with the Colts. 3rd and 4, it's play action. Will Levis across the middle, finding a wide open target down inside the red zone. That was Moore's 3rd catch of this game, 38 yards, no touchdown for him yet. As they're at the 17, they definitely could find one. It's a tight shotgun look. Will Levis once again rolling. Gonna go with a check down, a quick throw. Will find his target with a gain of 8. So make it 2nd and 2 at the 9. They will hand it off Saquon, and he gets dumped prior to the line to gain. And Graham Glass now injured on the play. With a 3rd and 1. Missing an offensive lineman. Do you look to pass then? Will they come out spread? Trips up top, 1 down below. And indeed it will be a pass. Levis throwing to Saquon off the mark. 4th and inches here late on in this one. Do they take the field goal or do they go for it on 4th? It will be the field goal unit marching out here. Kicking this one just inside the 15, about a 24.5 yarder. As it is down, it is up, and it is through. So as the offense comes out, 3:45 on the clock. Taylor close to 100 rushing in this one. I would prefer we just run the ball as that one nearly picked. Try to find the receiver on the deeper out route. As we saw earlier, Purdy pretty much has thrown an interception a game. Would love to finish one of these without one of those. 2nd and 10. Once again rolling, throwing down the sideline, jump ball, Dan Arnold couldn't bring it in. But with 3rd and 10 it will be, when all we needed to do was come out here and run clock. Looking to pass for the 3rd straight play, and it's going to be a free rusher. Honestly, after this, I think our OC should be fired. And with how weak the punt was thereafter. Colts starting at the 50, that is purely just bad play calling. Levis rolling up top, finding his target on the comeback is a gain of 3. Mafe out in coverage, probably not what you're looking for. 2nd and 7 with a bunch down to the bottom. As Levis throws across the middle, a little bit behind, well adjusted is the receiver who slips the tackle. 10-5 touchdown, a tied game here. Kyle Phillips, one heck of an effort on that. And it goes back to the bad play calling on that previous drive. With that, we have fired the OC and we are coming out here to control what we run. And it's not going to be passing if we don't have to. I would vastly prefer we get the running game strong here, take off all possible time, and end this thing with some amount of points, leaving no time for an answer. Ingold, good blocking on the edge again as Taylor sprints forward, staying inbound to let this thing run to the 2-minute. And of course, on top of that, we have Taylor over 100 rushing. So this seems like it could really be the playbook we were looking for as he bursts to the outside, spitting off of another, making sure he stays down inbounds. And that rush putting us into plus territory, closing in on field goal range as well. We'll just stick with it. Taylor right down the gut. Jukes gets off of the 2nd tackle, gets chopped down. Timeout being called here by the Colts. 1:14 left on the clock. We're down to the 31. Just continue with the ground and pound as it's clear. Good peel off the block. Smith. That was just a split second later. Could have been a house call. Instead, 2nd and 6 with 1:11 now. As they do bring the blitz, it's Smith yet again. 3rd and 7, though, no timeouts. And with us very much inside field goal range here, we'll look to get it back to Taylor. But we're going to do it via the screen. A couple blockers out in front. Burst to the outside. 1st down, and we can let this one roll. All the way down inside 30 seconds. Ingold yet again in motion. Gonna try to get the stretch to the outside. Seal up some blocks if we can. Taylor down inside the 5. And from there, we'll trot out McLaughlin for the game winner. This one about a 21-yarder. And we've gotten our 2nd win. The OC nearly threw that one away. And of course, with that, Madden glitches. And we're stuck into extra time here, even though there is none. So we'll have to exit out of this one, but it should keep the game. Or actually, it didn't save it. I had to go back into the game, and when I went back into the game, it had me playing on the Colts, despite this being franchise mode with the Vikings. So here's what we're gonna do instead then. The stats will not be the same, but if you didn't know that you could do this, you could do this. If you go into your schedule here, you can click actions, your A or X if you're on whatever console, and you can force whatever it is. So we will force the home win because we won that game. And we'll move on to the Bears game. And with this one being one of the primary games and not one of the ones we've already had this season, we're going to jump in at the start. At least watch the first possession of each side and then kind of move forward. Good stop there goes Lowry. Josh Jacobs gets the handoff. He went over 100 last week. So did Jonathan Taylor, both in the actual game and then in the resim that we had to do. 2nd and 7. As it's a pulling guard that doesn't block anyone, not needed though. Sidney Brown gets juked out. The other safety's got to come cross field to get the stop. But Jacobs has the Bears up to the 40 as they come out with 2 tight ends up top, 2 receivers down below. Baker Mayfield hands it off again, getting by the first defense, stiff-arming the second. Sidney Brown delivers the hit that time. Feel like he could grow into being a pretty solid, strong safety for us. Just need to be a little bit more consistent, and if we could stop the run here, all the better. Hobbs drags him down. But that is Jacobs' 4 straight plays. He's already essentially flipped the field into plus territory now at the 42. They bring out the fullback, They're going to go right back to Jacobs here. They will with a stretch up top. And Edwards trying to get the ankle. Sidney Brown will push him out. Gain of 4. Brown at least getting well involved early on here. But I would like us to do that a little closer to the line of scrimmage. As it's a 5th straight run, they check in a new running back. It is Herbert. Right down the middle, gashes us for 11. We saw our rookie in Jacobs, that DT, do pretty well last week in the pass rush. Haven't quite seen him do anything so far in the run stop. He's double teamed here as they find the drag. Gonna be a gain of about 15, 16. And speaking of Jacobs, he's shaken up on the play. This a little worrying. Never like to see rookies head off the field, especially ones that were so highly touted. This should bring out Shelby Harris. He played DT for us last year, number 93. As Baker steps up, he throws to the flat and rolling over the defender. Ref blows him down about half a yard away from the end zone. But honestly, very easily could have gone for a touchdown. As it's goal line versus goal line. Handoff Jacobs, and he is stuffed. A.J. Epinesa gets there first. Got a little bit of some help down the middle. Need that here yet again, as there is no gain from first. They look to pass. Baker finds his tight end, but through his hands, Moss jars it free. Can we find ourselves picking up a goal line stand here? Just allow a field goal attempt even. As it's Jacobs diving in, no stopping it that time. Pulling guard, even could have trotted in. The Bears finished their drive on top. Now as the offense looks to head on now, we talked to the OC in between games, and he said he's going to try to make up for it in this one. So let's see if he does. Quintez Cephas in motion towards the top. We look for him on the drag. Takes several shots there, some late hit. Now the referees here not going to help us out. This is a heated rivalry. If I'm being honest, I hate playing against the Bears more than the Packers. Just the rivalries don't quite weigh the same. 3rd and 2 following the dump off. Petrie and a couple others getting the tackle. At the 33, we go spread. 2 down to the bottom, 1 up top. Hawkinson also joins up top as Bateman in motion. Gonna make it a 2-receiver stack with Lazard. Clean pocket. And just off the mark for Cephas. And perhaps this is one of those scenarios where the OC's trying to make up for things. 4th and 2, the offense staying out there. It's a hard count. They will end up handing this one off, and Church is stopped. He had a lane. Lawrence got there at the last possible second. Take one more look at it there. Yeah, just a half yard away, it looked like, from picking up the first down. He dove out for it, made the play. Could end up being a costly decision as they are set up. Now at the 30, good stop there from Benton. He had a great start to his rookie year last year. Haven't seen much from him at the start, but Jacobs is back out there for us. As Baker up top and out of bounds. Jacobs does not get the catch. Clearly Hobbs knew that was going to happen, so he didn't guard him. 3rd and 7. We could really use with a stop here. They got 3 down to the bottom, 1 up top. Baker, clean pocket. Finding the open target is Justin Jefferson. Really don't like seeing him in a Bears uniform. It would be worse if it was the Packer, though. 1st and 10 at the 12. Baker Mayfield stepping up as Benton applied the pressure, but he finds his receiver. Gain of 6. Once again, the defense just has to quicken their step. They're making the right play. It's just a little bit too late. 2nd and 4. Jacobs down the middle with a shake and bake, and stopped yet again at the half-yard line. We find ourselves pushing this to a 3rd and goal. We'll find out. 1st and goal. It's a goal line versus goal line. How many goals can we put in here? Well, it's a play-action pass, and it's a sack fumble. Mafe pushes it back further. Someone's got to catch up to it. It's Lowry, but he's not going to get away. Chauncey Golston shaken up on the play, but we do keep some points off the board. And as we move a little bit forward from there, half a drive later, we're into the 2nd quarter, and it is a 1st and 10 at the 35. Bateman into the stack up top. Brock Purdy will go up top for Bateman. Good throw. Got that where only Rashad could find it. Maybe a little bit more air under it, and it's a catch and run. But either way, great throw Brock Purdy 5 of 6 passing. We just haven't passed that much. As it is Alex Church stopped at the line. We've seen a variety of running backs already out there. Church stays in despite getting up a little bit slow for 2nd and 10. Ingold will go out on a route. Brock spins, and he was looking for his fullback. Instead, he finds Franklin Myers on the blind side, make it 3rd and 18. And it's not even a full spread here for us. Just 2 down to the bottom, 1 up top. T-Hawk on the line. As we're setting up the halfback screen here, it's Hull, who's going to get a juke, and we're not even back to the original line of scrimmage there. 4th and 12. We'll have to trot out McLaughlin here to kick this one at about the 22. We'll call it a 32-yarder to get us on the board. The kick is up, and it's true. Now we're scooting along yet again here. Still the next drive for the Bears, but all the way down to the 2-minute warning as they're inside the 30, trying to widen their lead here before halftime, and that is a great play from Hobbs. Baker went for the jump ball. His receiver couldn't bring it down. 2nd and 10 then, as they got trips up top. Baker rolls, throws, and well behind Justin Jefferson. He had beat the safety in coverage. Just not a good look. Potentially the rush there from Espinosa kind of threw that one off. 3rd and 10, Baker steps up, lofting it and overthrowing JJ this time. St. Juice providing good coverage underneath. It'll be another field goal attempt here, this time for the Bears. This one from the 35, a 45-yarder is perfect. With a 1:40 on the clock. Let's trot out here with the offense. Take control of this drive. I want Ingold on the wheel route here. See if we can get the fullback some big chunk yardage. Or instead, Brock Purdy, he's looking to scramble, and he gives himself up. Just a gain of 3. He had a receiver breaking open on the cross, I want to say was Lazard. Instead, we got a 2nd and 7. We'll look for the halfback screen, get it out to Taylor. Get him towards the sideline. A little stiff arm will ensure it. Still have 1:08 on the clock, and we change up the look here with a fresh set of downs. 2 tight ends go to the left-hand side, 1 receiver either side. As it's a sack down the middle, this one Hendrickson. Purdy's got to do a better job of just checking that rush real quick as we approach 30 seconds now. See if we can find that drag here to T-Hawk. That one a little bit too lofted, but it kept it away from the defenders. With a 3rd and 19 here, can Brock find a fresh set of downs here? Find field goal range at least before half. A little bit of some play action. As he lost it towards the sideline, Cephas was there. Instead, it's a pick at midfield. Bears will have another opportunity. Just simply put way too much underneath that throw. And apparently we're jumping out here for a play on defense. So let's run a play then on defense. As Maffei gets back there, puts a hit in on Baker. And with that, we'll jump back to the broadcast view then. Empty set as Baker changes it up here. He sends the trips up top, 2 down to the bottom, including Josh Jacobs will be off the screen to the bottom. We just have a 3-man front as Baker looks to rumble. Benton read it. Epinesa cleans it up. They call their first timeout with a 3rd and 7. 15 seconds left in the half. It's trips down to the bottom, 1 up top. We bring a little bit extra and we get to Baker. He throws it away. That will be half. As we finally get on in here in the second half, we're pretty much heading into the 4th. It was an extremely defensive quarter of play. As they are in plus territory, Jacobs takes the handoff, picks up 4, and with that, we officially head into the 4th. We need a stop here from the defense. Our offense has not found the end zone today, though opportunity has been there. But first and foremost, we got to make sure we don't let the Bears into the end zone. With a stretch here, Josh Jacobs, he finds some space. There's a flag. The DBs end up coming together to get the stop, but it does not matter. It is holding and will back them up. With a 2nd and 16 then at the 43. They go back to Jacobs, once again getting by the first 2 levels. It's the DBs having to get the stop, and it's the same tandem. And this time, with a lot more yards to go on 3rd. 3rd and 9, trips up top. They're tied in at the bottom, haven't looked his way. As I say that, they do, and it's Sidney Brown with the swat. At the 36, this might not exactly be field goal range, though they do have a pretty solid kicker here. kicking this one at about the 43, a 53-yarder. He's got the power for sure, and the accuracy is deadly down the middle. So once again, our offense is trailing. Did not find the end zone in the first 3 quarters. Now we're looking like we're going to have to find it twice here in the fourth. Taylor, strong run. Picks up 6, leaves 2nd and 4 with a bunch up top. Purdy looking to throw, and he will throw it off the top of the defender's helmet as he got drilled. We'll have to rely on the big boys here for 3rd and 4. 3 tight ends all down to the bottom, including Zylstra. Haven't seen him out there much. Purdy throws, finding Arnold. He's going to turn up, pick up a gain of 13, up to the 44. Back to the heavy set here, including Ingold, as it's Taylor down the middle. Good cut. That's going to be close to a first down. There was a player that dove at the helmet, strictly made contact with it. Apparently Madden doesn't like those flags. 2nd and 1, he'd probably call them too often anyway. With a heavy set yet again, play action, Brock Purdy looking for a crossing route, and he does find it. Alan Lazard to the 32. So far a smooth drive. We just need to finish, and honestly, if we could do it a little quickly, all the better, as we still need to get another stop on defense and another score. We take the quick drag, maybe slant there to Cephas. He picks up 5 as we move inside 5 minutes. Only 2 grabs for Cephas on the day. I think we're rocking a little bit more heavier looks here with the Raiders offense. As Purdy lofts it a whole lot under it, but it's a touchdown for Bateman. Looked a little funny off the flick, but hey, if it's effective, that's what matters. And now we just got to see if our defense can get us a stop. We'll start here in the quicker sim, as there goes a first down, Josh Jacobs. We move inside 4 minutes, 2nd and 5 with a gain of 5. First down yet again. We'll definitely jump in inside of 2 minutes if it gets to that point, which might be after this play, and indeed it will be. Down inside of field goal range. Both teams have 3 timeouts. We've got to get a stop here. Jacobs down the middle, gashing us every play so far this drive, though James Gallimore injured on the play for Chicago. That's going to end up calling one of their timeouts, saving one for ourselves, and we might need it with a 2nd and 3. Jacobs back down the middle with plenty of rushing room as he gets maybe tripped. Honestly, he might have tossed himself down there. We call our first timeout. Need a stop. A turnover would be the better, as it's a handoff. Jacobs just refusing to go down. Second to last timeout called. It is 2nd and 4 as they go with a stretch this time. No one sealing the edge, though a flag comes down. If it wasn't so, it would be a touchdown. But Billy Price grabbed a little too much jersey. So 2nd and 14, though it did waste some time, 1:42. Still that one timeout. Jacobs with a handoff. We will eventually drag him down. Sidney Brown, our final timeout called with a 3rd and 8. We must get the stop on this play. 2 spread either side. Baker Mayfield looks to throw. Touchdown. They find their tight end Anderson. And it's yet again a 2-score game. This team just cannot seem to get it done in divisional games. I don't know why, but we've got at least a minute and a half here to try to make some fun out of it. As Bateman, a lot of press to the outside there. He still somehow gets the catch. Offense got to keep the hurry up going here. Just got to make sure we try to make something happen late on. We're not going to sit down, that for sure. As we find T-Hawk quickly, he gets out of bounds. Inside plus territory at the 41, 103. We need a touchdown, an onside, and a field goal, all without any timeouts remaining. Cephas had a step, but the ball went so much inside. Purdy should have kept that straight. Some of his throws today have just seemed a little bit awkward. Still learning, I guess, his new team here. 2nd and 10. Hard count from Purdy, not going to earn a free play. As he rolls to the right-hand side, he's got an open receiver. Lazard gets the catch. We draw it back here in Chicago, but an onside is needed. But we miss the extra point, and for some reason, Coach trotted out the normal kicking team here. So, not sure what we're going to get here from McLaughlin. It's a sky kick that still is going to go straight to Chicago. And with no timeouts, That's game. No idea what that was about at all, but it is yet again another loss in division. We have only had one divisional win in a whole season and 2 more games. Chicago gets this one 20-16. Some weird things happening here for sure. I just wanted to step in here to interject real quickly before we get to the Packers game to talk about what just happened there at the end. I don't know if you guys have ever had it happen, but sometimes the screen lags, you still have an animation going, but the input does not lag. So you're trying to get through the screens, you're hitting A, it selects to kick it, and then I've had issues of late where it's not letting me audible all the time. I've had this happen on college football, and I had it happen a couple times in this game. I don't know if it's my controller or if it's some weird bug that happens to be in both the EA games. Let me know if you've had that experience. But still, it was a loss. Even if we were able to get that onside, the chances of us, one, recovering that onside and then getting a touchdown because we missed the extra point was a long shot. Still, though, expect better, both on my part and on EA. But as we do get into this Packers game, we can greatly help ourselves out here as we do start off with 3 straight scoring drives. That is what we need. This is a game that is putting the top of the division versus the bottom of the division, and a win early on here would be fantastic. We do tack on a field goal there right before half, make it 20-7. We'll get through the third quarter here as well, as that's the drive the Packers really need, and they got the lead here as we hit the fourth. So let's slow things down a little bit as we missed the field goal. They say good, but they didn't tack on any points here for us. Did Madden? Okay, no, instead we have a first down. I don't know what just happened. Madden is being weird, but we got a first down and we're essentially inside the red zone. So for sake's sake, we're gonna say we kicked the extra point. It was good, but then there was a penalty that gave us a first down, and we're looking for a touchdown as we get it here. Talk it into existence, Rashad Bateman, putting us back in front here now. I want to make sure we go for 2. But Brock Purdy, perfect throw over the top of the safety. Great catch back of the end zone from Bateman. Well, let's keep the offense out here and make sure we go up by a touchdown. To do that, we need to go for 2 here. It's going to change up a couple different things. I want to get Cephas open as no one is really on him. To the outside, he's going to beat that linebacker 9 plays out of 10. Quintez Cephas, 2-pointer is good. Now, considering we already have kind of watched a big part of this sack there from Mafe, we're going to continue watching it just in a quicker match. As Zay Flowers, heck of a play up to midfield. 7 goes DeAndre Swift. 5 more picks up the first down. They're well into plus territory here. 2nd and 7. They get 5 as we approach 5 minutes here, moving under after this play. They're at the 22. 2nd and 5. 3rd and 1. And it's a first down at the 10. Looking for our defense to get a stop here and actually correct that. It's at the 11, so they could still get a fresh set of downs at the 1. As they stretch it, Williams goes nowhere. AJ Epinesa there to get the quick tackle. Feel like we've been calling his name a lot more today. I like it. 2 spread, actually no, 2 up top, 3 down to the bottom. It's an empty look here for Herbert. He's got time across the middle. Quick tackle, but it's a catch. Down to the 4. We'll leave 3rd and 3. They'll bring out 2 to the bottom, plus a Okonkwo. 1 spread all the way up top. It will be a pass. Herbert. Are they going to mark that? No, they do not give him the complete forward progress. It is 4th and inches. Approaching the 2-minute mark here, they will keep their offense out there. I would imagine they hand it off. That's a pretty wide gap at the strong side. 24, the running back, Swift, does not get the handoff. Herbert rolls down to the bottom, throws, and he levels this game. Quez Watkins. Just over 2 minutes left. We've got a tied game here in Lambeau. And that is why going for 2 was so important. 28-28. We're coming out here with the offense because we still don't trust the OC. 2:18, 3 timeouts. As it's Taylor, should have stuck that one to the outside, though a flag is down That seems to be a very delayed holding call on Linderbaum. So 1st and 20, didn't matter if we went outside or not then. As we get Taylor on the screen here, pick up a couple blocks, 77. Miners laid out the dude. I guess that's what happens when you practice on literal trees. 2nd and 9 at the 26, 2:08 left. Looking for a pass, coming across and finding Lazard. There's just so much extra touch here on the Purdy passes. Some people might think those are pretty, but me, no, they just make me worried. Just get the ball there as quickly and efficiently as possible. Taylor wrapped up down the middle. Now we are also trying to be very cautious with the time as well. Don't want to give Packers any extra time. We'll love to just drain this clock, get a score, and walk out of here with a win as Malik Harrison injured on the play. That will end up stopping the clock for the Packers. Uses one of their timeouts. We've got a 3rd and 7. A little bit of some play action. Pass rush arrives. 1:15 left. You've got to punt it. Once again, it's a situation where we have this game in our hand and we didn't take advantage of the opportunity we were given. 1:08 and counting. We only bring 4, and it's thrown out of bounds by Herbert. He's already tossed 4 touchdowns today. Would hate to make it a 5th. As they're still back up to their own 21. Herbert looking for the halfback screen. He will find Swift. Over 100 total yards today, and we'll tack on an extra 13. As now Epinesa shaken up on the play. We are not very deep at edge rusher. What's even more worrying is he's headed straight to the tunnel. Timeout called for us. We've had 2. Packers have 1. It's a 1st and 10 at the 35, and a strike right down the middle is about field goal range. Darnell Mooney, as they do not call a timeout. Rolls inside 30 seconds. We could really use with a sack here, as it will be technically, and that might be, no, I don't think he's a rookie. Nelson credited with the sack. 17 seconds. They called their final timeout. And with that, a tackle inbounds may not give them time to get the field goal unit back out there. So looking for the end zone then. It's a spread empty look for Herbert, who will loft it away. 12 seconds left. They need the 39 for Devontae Peoples. Right now, they're at the 44, so it is not field goal range. They will stick with the empty set. Maybe look for a quick out to get into range here would be the smart decision. But Herbert, he's going deep, and tip nearly caught following the tip. It is 4th and most likely a potential game situation here. I would have imagined they would have went for it here. One more heave towards the end zone. We're not in field goal range. Instead, they punt. And with 1 second, we will have one play. Now, we don't really have any fake plays to really use here, so we're going to fake spike it. Because why not? Let's see what happens here. As it's tossed out for Lazard, he kind of had a step. He doesn't get to it, and it will be OT here. Good news is we won the coin flip, so we start on offense. I'm going to let them control their drive to begin with, but if we feel like we need to jump in, well, we will jump in as Taylor gets jumped from behind. No gain. A second Harrison for the Packers defense gets the stop. So 2nd and 10 at the 25. Purdy spinning, throwing up top. T-Hawk can't find it. Honestly, with how that play was looking, I'm probably okay with a drop. Sometimes with those, that ends up being a sack at the best, a pick at the worst. 3rd and 10. Purdy with a 5-man rush. We pick it up. He's got time, and he delivers a strike to T-Hawk. 2 touchdowns on the day for Purdy. Can he find a 3rd? Hawkinson only 5 catches, 63 yards in motion here as he gets the comeback block on the DT. Little ground and pound work, and now Devon Hamilton shaken up for the interior of the Packers defense. They've had a couple players exit this game late. 2nd and 6 following the rush. We'll go with some play action. Got to get rid of it. Purdy, no. He eats the sack. 3rd and 15. I don't trust whatever play call they would have come up with. So we are jumping out here for that 3rd and long. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Got to find somewhere to go. Well, how about right down the middle? Bateman with the sliding grab. And honestly, while we're already out here, we might as well stay on out here. We're also letting the clock run as well. We'll take a tie if we really have to. Taylor stretches it, picks up 7. Some might not understand, though, why I would say we would take the tie. That's because we had 2 divisional wins last year, so we would take at least a half here. That's been how it's been. Taylor has to bounce the stretch all the way to the outside. He's going to pick up the first down and scamper out. That's a late hit. You can't not call that. I don't care if it's in Lambeau or not. We've all seen much less get called for a whole lot more. Talking fines tacked onto it. Maybe there'll be a FedEx package in his locker come this next week as Taylor cuts back to the inside, not able to get away from, I believe that's Ivan Pace Jr., yeah, remembering from last time. The offense clearly not in any hurry as we hit the 2-minute mark here of overtime. We got a 2nd and inches as Brock Purdy will step up and slide down with the first. Just looking for the easy plays here, trying to keep things clean and walk out of here with a big upset dub. Hard count. Once again, everyone covered. Brock Purdy, he's going to find a lane, and he's just shy of the end zone. They mark 2nd and inches now. That should be a first down at least. Referee's trying to make things as hard as possible here for us. I mean, just look at where the ball is. It's past the line to gain. Goal line versus goal line. Ingold will walk us off. That's a huge upset divisional rivalry. We take down top of our division, finally get a win in division. A lot of hard work and some revenge for the game we gave up earlier in the season. But any win against the Packers is a good win, no matter how much we kind of gave things up in regulation. We get that win, and we move into our final game of the episode. And actually, we'll just get straight on through that Titans game in order to keep this episode a more manageable length, but it is another win. We've got a win streak here. I did jump in and I was going through it, but we really held control for pretty much that whole game. A little bit closer in the first half. We held it into the 4th quarter and ended up walking away 27-20 with that win. Pretty pedestrian game here, Brock Purdy. 203, 1 touchdown, completed 62% of his passes. The rookie here in Ryland Campbell actually had a pretty solid game, only 1 touchdown, but 73%, not too bad. Jonathan Taylor, 3 yards short of 100, though 6.5 yards per carry is fantastic. The rookie, though, in Alex Church, he's the one that got into the end zone twice. Receiving-wise, Jalen Waddle had a pretty good game, over 100 and a touchdown on us. Lazard was our leading target. Hawkinson was 1 catch less, though a little over half the amount of yards. Defensively, Benjamin St-Juste and Tony Adams led us in tackles. Not sure how I feel about DBs leading us in that category. Tackles for a loss, Maffei and Benton both with 2. And then sacks, we had Maffei and the rookie in LaMichael Jacobs. Hopefully, might check in on his total stats for the season real quick, but he seems like he's having a pretty good rookie year. And overall, I wouldn't say too bad of a rookie year. Maybe could see a little bit more. Tackles for a loss, 3, sacks 2. I think he's impacted plays a little bit more, but he hasn't been the one who directly got some of those stats. But overall, not too bad. Benton and Jacobs probably will be our DT tandem of the future. But with an opposite run of performance from how the first episode of Season 2 went last time, where we were at 1-3, we go 3-1 today, and we level ourselves here at 500. Now, we still have not gotten by Week 8, as it is the trade deadline, so these records obviously not going to be fully up to date. Packers 4-2. If they lose, that puts us even closer. If the Bears lose, potentially we could jump them. There was a whole lot of things that could or could not happen depending on what happens as we move forward, but we put ourselves in a spot here where we are still competitive in the NFC North. We just really need to turn things on in the second half. But with our 18th offensive scheme change, I think we finally found the playbook that fits this group. We've got a really strong interior of the offensive line. We've got a good quarterback, a good running back. Receivers are a little light, but that's why we have Hawkinson to help out that group. This is a team that could make the playoffs. Are they there yet to win the Super Bowl? Well, only the field will tell, so make sure you stick around to see how they play. This series every single Tuesday and Thursday. College football is every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So make sure you also tune in over there. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the sub button. They both do the same thing. And tap the bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live so you do not miss out. We're on our way up. Trajectory looking good. Do we make one final move to try to put us over the edge? We'll find out at the beginning of next episode.